Thank you for joining us. My name is Jose, and today we are going to have our speaker, Nicole Morales, tell us all about her experiences in being a sleep specialist. So, Nicole, without further ado, please go ahead.
Thank you, Jose. Hi, everyone. I'm Nicole. I'm a newborn care specialist, postpartum doula, and pediatric sleep consultant. And today we're going to talk about the tools and challenges that I've learned over the past 12 years. In just 30 minutes, you'll gain insights from my experience and fast track your knowledge. Let's get started. I'd like to tell you a story that I believe would resonate with you all. After graduating with early childhood education, I became a preschool teacher, but I realized I needed to do more with my career. After getting pregnant and experiencing a loss, I went through a tough spot in my life with many different changes, but it actually helped me flourish and made me stronger. I was also diagnosed with PCOS and still haven't been able to conceive. But instead of dwelling on it, it gave me a bigger push and helped me find a new purpose to help moms and children. Being a newborn care specialist and postpartum doula, I didn't just want to help local families. I wanted to help people all over the world. So I became a pediatric sleep expert. I give families the sisterly support like a sibling or a friend, so helping them take off the weight off their shoulders and giving them that positive energy, especially knowing how tough it can be with the hormonal changes and everything that comes with it. I pour so much passion into what I do, and I'm so proud of myself. And you all should be too, because we do one of the most needed careers in our lives. As I began working with clients, I experienced a lot of challenges with them. And some of the challenges had nothing to do with the actual sleep coaching process, but instead it was with the SMS, the platforms I was using, Canva, and more. And I told myself, how do I manage marketing, invoicing, billing, and then onboarding my clients? I'm sure that a lot of you have experienced this. I bet if I asked what platform you all use, I would hear so many logos out there. Stop. I'm going to ask you a simple question. Do you all really know how much you pay for all the platforms you're using to help your clients? Is it $100, $200, $300, or even $500? That's like the price of a wallet. And let's be realistic. I think all of us would rather spend that on a wallet than all these platforms. I had an issue occur one night with the client when we were doing one-on-one support. The baby was teething, she wasn't sleeping, crying, and I was already dealing with high anxiety parents, and we all know how that goes. It really didn't help the situation. But dad called me saying the app we were using crashed. All of the information that they were supposed to implement wasn't there anymore. And the last thing that I want for my clients to feel when we're doing our one-on-one support is feeling alone and like they can't get immediate access to me. It was so stressful. But I want you for a second to imagine what it's like for everything to work out. The message to get where it's supposed to be, the baby to sleep earlier than the parents were expecting, and all the documentation to be everything that you needed and to work out the way it's supposed to be. But you don't have to imagine anymore. Let me show you. And these are just parts of something that we're all building together. When I first started this story, I mentioned doing a little counting, taking a look at all the tools that people, including myself, today use. And here they are, the tools I researched along with their costs. Now, not all of us need every single one of these tools, but the reality is we do need them. We need them for marketing, invoicing, billing, all our communities, and creating something special. But let's be honest, it's just too expensive. It's crazy. So what happens? Do we all just choose a few, even though we know that's not what we're supposed to do? But we want to do it the right way. That's why we're offering all of this just for $27 a month. This is a limited time offer, and you'd be grandfathered in, no changes, and you'd be locked in. So what are we going to do about it? Are we going to keep repeating the same patterns and investing in tools we can't afford? Or are we going to say enough and make a change? I decided to ask sleep experts what they thought about this, and what they said might surprise you. Now I'm going to be passing this over to Jose, the head of engineering.
So thank you, Nicole, so much. So what did we do? So one of the things that we find in the marketplace is that there's so many tools out there that try to solve everything. And when you don't focus in a solution, then that solution basically loses its power with those particular individuals. So Sleep Coach is an application specifically for sleep coaches. Nothing else will never be, won't try to expand. All of our features are going to be specifically for that practice. So that's our promise to you. So how do we know what people want? And the answer is, we asked you, and people that deal with clients in a daily basis. So we want to show you what we asked and what you told us. So we have a WhatsApp community in which we talk to sleep coaches all over the world. And here's some of the results of our questionnaires. And what you told us was that client onboarding and onboarding the caregivers, the parents, is absolutely the most important thing. So that means that you want a smooth experience from awareness of that parent about you and your services that you offer, to all the way to sending that invoice and getting that review with happy customers. Then you told us, well, we need to be tracking baby logs like feeding, breastfeeding, formula feeding, napping, or sleeping. And then we need to be able to review those logs and then apply our expertise to help the parents that are in need of your services. Then you express, we want the messaging to be secure, because we've been in other platforms and we don't know where that data lands. And as you know, there are many platforms that run today that are not hosted necessarily in the United States or in countries that have privacy laws that will be concurrent to what your expectations are. Then we talked a little bit deeper with you and people like you, and you said, well, I need to remind individuals about the things that I've been teaching them, because when we get in that 1 hour briefing, oftentimes as I'm coaching them, I'm giving them 10, 12 years of experience, and maybe they retain that 10% that most students do, and they need that repetition, that reminders, and things that would allow them to get that baby to sleep if I'm not there present, right? Because some of you actually go to the home and help them out to put the baby to sleep, and that's amazing. And then you said, look, like, I have Zoom, I have meetings, but wouldn't it be nice if I could just have the video call right there with the individual, see the clinical notes and the summary? And we said, that makes a lot of sense. And then we ask you, okay, but how do you conduct business today? What is the transformation of where you are today to where you want to be? So you say, well, we use pen and paper, some of you, and that's fine. I think pen and paper is actually an underestimated analog tool. I think it's really great for journaling. I think for reminding yourselves, I think I use pen and paper all the time. More pen and than a pencil. But so spreadsheets and Google, Excel, yeah, those work. If you're a very organized individual that keep all of those notes, that can work. I think it's not ideal. Or I think it's a supplementary tool that you use to get to something else to organize yourself in a more automated way. And then other there are different perspectives in regards to what you wanted, and those were kind of like the add-on features that like integration with some CRM, and like sending Calendly links out. Those were very like niche things. So after more research, we basically categorize your needs into 4 quadrants. Really is integrations, accessible anywhere, so that you can have those conversations with the parents and so forth. And the user-friendly design is so that the onboarding, the parent doesn't have to read a tutorial as to how do I interact with this platform. It's self-evident as they experience it. So reliability and performance, we don't want to be talking to the parents and our chat logs are gone, and the app won't log in, it's down every other day. You're getting emails like, I'm sorry that that everything's down. We want to have a reliable performance, so that at a minimum we're as good as the big players, but without the big ticket items, right? We don't want to pay 700 and we want to stay at the sweet spot of $27, right? Otherwise, why not just go with the big players, right? So this is just a sneak peek. We're actively developing this, and this is just to show you that we take care of that user experience, and it's one of our most important factors. So as you can see, everything is symmetrical, everything has best practices, so that when the parents come and join us, because it's invite only. So the way that it works, the sleep specialist invites the parent, and only then can they use the tools. So you can imagine that you can market this as a tool that is used in your practice, because the people can't just join and just enjoy the features. They have to be invited by one of our sleep specialists. So and here's some of the when I say other, you were talking about comprehensive tracking, smart insights, multilingual support. Some people wanted Farsi, Arabic, Spanish, Portuguese, and we said yes, but one step at a time. There's a nice analogy, is crawl, right, walk, and then run. So I believe that this will be more walking, that crawling will be like the initial phase. And the beautiful thing is that when we talk about like walk, crawling, and running, this is not a 3 or 4 year that kind of span. We're talking about months. So the first 2 months, maybe we're crawling, and then we start adding all of these features by month number 3. So we're going to be continuously investing in the platform and making it better. But how do we know what to do next? Well, that's where you come in. We have adopted the mentality that the best person to tell us about what's next should be you. And of course, a little bit of creativity from moi and Nicole as well. So that's good. But I want you to think about beyond features, right? Technology is great, but the real process to build a movement is people, process, and technology. So people, notice in that list, is first, because that is the foundation of any good organization. The processes is just the way that you get, is a means to a task, and the technology is just so that we can scale. But the number one is people. So we are laser focused on finding the right people to work with us. So I said that I was Jose. but I'm also a multi. I have invested quite a bit in prenatal childbirth education tools. I am the founder and CEO of GentleBirth. I am an investor on a company called Fertile Mind for fertility. I have a laser therapy clinic partnerships for childbirth for basically therapies for red light therapy for helping fertility. And the point that I'm trying to make is that we are in the space of helping parents from the conception phase to the welcoming their baby into the world. And now we want to expand our reach with Nicole doing SleepNest, right? And then having that postpartum experience where you get to learn about the importance of sleep, right? For you and your baby. And then she can talk. I imagine you guys are all in what the importance of sleep is for the family members. And then, but beyond that, when we collaborate with sleep experts, I have, let's say, an ambition. And the ambition is when I worked in GentleBirth, we made communities and we talked to legislators, and we in 2023, some of the activism that was going on was actually making doulas part of the covered by insurance, right? So in 2023, there was a law passed that made doulas as part of the medical care providers, coverage list. So now we are working to onboard all over California, Texas, and New York in every single hospital so that the doula services and childbirth education services are covered. We feel that similarly, some states have already adopted this, that sleep specialists should be covered by insurance. But what have we learned? We learned that we need to form communities so that we can talk in one voice to the legislators and to other groups to form coalitions to make change. So yes, the app is great. We're going to absolutely provide you the best in-class experience that we can, but also know that our goal is to form a movement to move the sleep specialist from an add-on that you pay out of pocket to a right. So now, grant funding. Hundreds of millions of dollars go out there every year. It says from 2024 to 2025, this is the budget, this is the grant. And what happens is nobody applies for them. And when I say nobody, I want to ask yourself, and some of you may have gotten the grant, and then I really want to talk to you. And for those who don't, I want to raise your awareness so that you know that they're out there. There are grants for $10,000 to $100,000 that say, we'll give you this money for free if you help parents in need of certain things in certain communities. And there's some nuance to it. But the point is that it's exactly what you're doing today, and the government will give you the money for free. That's a grant. So, and you probably heard of it, but then you're like, wait, can I get a grant? Yes, you can. And education. We know that continuing education is incredibly important for any profession that requires what I call, maybe this is the wrong word, but I call it medical attention, or a service that provides knowledge for the parents as to how to mitigate the what would be a good word here, Nicole? Let me think about this. to mitigate the effects of not having a sleep or being unable to sleep, right? So
Right. Yeah.
the continuing education part of it is that Nicole is reaching out to, and we are, Nicole is our, you know, the head of the sphere. But Nicole is reaching out to sleep universities and establishing partnerships and collaboration so that we can then raise to your awareness that those you know, classes are available for you so that you get those CME credits, right? And then lastly, and this is something that we do at GentleBirth, we outreach to you know, organizations like WIC and public health programs around the counties, and then try to work with local communities to then say, hi, let me tell you about what we're doing here, because it's aligned to the mission that you already are trying to do. And then that collaboration then brings about incredible opportunities, both for you know, everyone in our community, but the parents as well that don't even know that those services or possibilities are available. So one of the main issues in public health is actually that people don't know where to get help. In fact, that's what some of the WIC staff tell me. So how do you join? Pretty easy. You click on the WhatsApp community and you can type sleep well so that we can DM you and tell you like, you know, how to lock in your subscription if you want to. If not, then you can you know, you can wait until March 14 and give it a go. And if you don't want to pay the membership, totally fine. Come on in. Let's talk about grants. Let's talk about movements. Let's talk about changing policy. And with that, everyone that is here and everyone that sees this webinar in the future, that there we have it. Nicole, time for Q&A.
Yes, thank you, Jose. Now I can get all the questions you all have. Please feel free to ask us anything you need.
So I guess I have a question just about the integration with the Google Meets and the Zoom. So like right now I have an appointment setter for my business and they just click on the appointment setter, you know, my availability comes up, they book, and then the link is just automatically generated. So how is there going to be a feature in the app that does the same thing where if I invite the parent?
Yeah. The answer is yes. Yeah,
Okay.
it's like Calendly. It's like you know, any of those calendar feature software. It has the same capabilities. I think the major barrier to entry to individuals is like when they have a system, a business process, is moving away from that business process and then justifying the return on investment for that move. You know, like because you
Right.
have something that works right now. And if you're paying $500 a month, you have to ask yourself, okay, is it worth it for me moving? And the answer is like, I would have to know a lot more about how deeply committed you are to your tools to tell you if this would be a good move for you. But what I find is running like tons of other businesses that I paid the $1,000, $2,000 a month fees. And I was in that boat, so we decided to, you know, say, okay, enough is enough. Let me get the tools that I need, and then with one platform, because having it all disjointed, like Asana and then Monday and then Calendly is kind of crazy. But yeah, to answer your question, yes. Let me not ramble on.
It's okay.
Yeah, does anyone else have questions?
I want to know if we utilize this SleepNest app, what are the activities that are recorded? I utilize another app and it tells me the movements of my baby's kicks. It also tells me how long my baby sleeps for. Can you please tell me a little bit more about SleepNest? I want to know a little bit more about that, please.
Yeah, That's super interesting. So that those tools are sensors that are outside of you know, the application itself, and then those sensors then send the data over, and then if those sensors often have to conform to Apple standards, which means that it has to be portable. So there's a portable health record that gets saved into your phone, and that data can be extracted and put into any other application that can accept that particular format. In other words, let me say it like a normal person. The data from that particular device that you're talking about can be moved to SleepNest, and then you can see it there as well. But that is a future functionality where we're going to take your portable health record that says in your iPhone or Android and be able to see it. Now, in terms of SleepNest, the specific let's call it the minimum viable product, or like the amount of technology necessary for us to launch, you will be able to record breastfeeding, right, or feeding, formula feeding. What is the other type of feeding? Please help me, Nicole.
Yeah,
Bottle feeding?
breastfeeding, formula feeding. Yeah, and then when they're pumping, it can show like how long they're pumping on each side, breastfeeding on each side, because that's really important to show on there, and then they can record it.
Yeah, and then there's napping, and then things like how long the baby took the nap, when did he wake up? I think they're called wake windows. I'm
Yes,
learning
wake
about
windows.
sleep, so
Yes, he's learning. And then like recording, also, yeah, like the quality of the sleep as well, setting reminders, because again, a lot of our sleep experts know we do walk through the parents on everything, but sometimes, you know, they're parents and they forget mostly, and it's just a nice reminder to say, hey, don't forget, you know, there's this wake window, but also we would like to follow the bio times as well.
right. And then I think you can record pink noise, brown noise, what other type of white noise?
White noise, yeah.
See, I feel so proud of myself right now.
Getting there.
You should be. Good job.
Sarah's laughing at me. Okay, this is good.
Funny.
This is good. But and then wait, there's sleep quality, which is like, did the baby, I think that the term is overtired.
Yes.
Or not. Oh my God, I'm getting this right.
We don't want them to be undertired or overtired. We want that sweet spot.
Right. So then we record if you know, the baby's overtired or undertired, and then some of the moods, was the baby crying or had a lot of energy, because those are indicators. See, so we ask the person, is it this or that? But then we also ask the indicators. Does he have a lot of energy? Does he like fall asleep right away? And then we make inferences in regards to what's happening there. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that in a second. And then there's sleep. And then I gotta look at my notes for sleep, but it's like decibel levels, how noisy it was it quiet, was it loud? What else, Nicole? Jog my memory here.
Yeah, and just like a nursery assessment as well. Like we want to know how it really is in the nursery, only because that helps us determine, okay, the next steps, and we want to walk them through all of it properly as well.
Yes. And you can imagine that Nicole basically drilled me from everything that a sleep specialist should basically know to make her assessment and make her sleep plan. We ask every single question that will help you determine that. Now, what I'm doing, and this is part of why I kind of understand this just a tiny bit, is I am having the AI do clinical notes. So you guys talk and chat with the parents, you remind them of things, they input their specific information, napping, feeding, and sleeping. And then I look at all of it combined. I pass it through that chat GPTs of the world, which is Claude, you know, Anthropic, whatever the technologies and companies. So then I take the summaries, and then I take that summary that is generic, and I say, as a sleep specialist, what are the clinical notes? In other words, what are the things that I should be telling these parents about their sleep and their recommendations based on evidence-based science? And then we have these resources that are evidence-based that it bases those recommendations on. And then it tells you these are the things that for this particular caregiver that you should be talking about. Now, we don't show that to the parent. We show that to you because just like doctors get the EHR and then it says the diagnosis, and the diagnosis, the doctor is like, ha, it'll never be that. The AIs are good, but a trained individual looking at the recommendations is proven evidence-based that it's better than the AI alone.
Yes.
So it's basically something that in the medical practice has been, really being adopted. That is that the practitioner looks at the help that the tools can provide him. So so that we're going to adopt the same thing where we show you and then you determine what you would like to discuss with the client or not, and we feel very comfortable with that.
Yeah, thank you, Jose. Those are great points because as a sleep expert, we always want to dig deep into what's really going on until we can implement anything. We've asked several questions and always with evidence-based methods as well. We want to back it up and show them what's really there and why things are happening.
Alicia, I asked you to unmute and then to show your video because I know you couldn't find the button.
There she is. Hello.
Is she there?
Yeah.
Hi, sorry, I was trying to find the unmute button.
Hi, Aaliyah.
How's
How
it
are you?
going? Welcome.
Hi, how are you guys? Thank you so
Good.
much for all of this. I find it very helpful. One question I do have, though, I noticed one of the platforms you guys were talking about was Squarespace and acuity scheduling. So that would that be included in the app?
Yeah, not necessarily the technology Squarespace, but the equivalent. And then one of the things that you'll find is that when you try to contact Squarespace support, they're like, I don't imagine. Let me not talk. Squarespace is great, but we believe that if you contact us, a small group, and literally I'll be on the WhatsApp, and you say, Jose, take 15 minutes, help me out in my website. I'll hop in. I'll do it myself for you, get you out there, get you, all my recommendations and everything that I have to offer as an individual. But then let me just be humble. But I believe that I am pretty good at what I do, and I can help not only in your Squarespace, your Acuity, but your automations. And then as a result, you get more clients, and as a result, we're way happier to have you have more success in your practice.
Yes.
So I just wanted to mention that because I think it's not obvious that we're gonna have that VIP kind of type of support.
Yeah.
And we can do this. It's kind of like the flaws of a small company is that they can't scale, but then we can be way more flexible than the companies that scaled. So it's kind of like as we grow, we will have to find a way to meet our promises. But of course, right now we can.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
lucky
For
for
sure.
lucky for the new people.
Yeah. And Aaliyah, we want it to be to where you can come to us, update us on things so we can give you fast support, and just to be there to lead and guide everyone as well.
Yeah. And Nicole does a
That
good
sounds
job,
great.
and I basically hurry up, Jose.
Yeah, that sounds really great. It sounds
you.
perfect.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So what are you guys using? Like, tell me about. I would love to learn because the more I learn as an engineer, like I just want to build. Uh, the more I learn about how you do business today, what the challenges that you are encountering, the more number one excited I get because I want to build that airplane. uh, but yeah, I would love to hear some of your stories. What are the challenges that you're having with your clients, if any, or don't even tell me about the challenge. Tell me about the successes. So, because
Yeah.
if I see success, I go towards it.
So I just have a question.
Yeah,
So I'm like stuck on this appointment scheduling
sure.
stuff. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
So
Ask.
I guess I'm not understanding. So like right now, I have a client that comes to my website and they book on my website directly.
Yeah.
Okay.
How would they do that through SleepNest? Like how do
Oh,
I
so easily. There's a link that you would link through your website that literally clicks on it and they can do a Calendly, right? Now, and then you basically would do the closing. In other words, like you would have that one-on-one meeting, that 15-minute consultation. You'll tell them about your sleep plan and everything that you have to offer. And then once they become your client, not only did we provide you all the tools, the web hosting, the marketing, the CMS, well, all that, now you also have SleepNest that you can say, here is a technological tool for you to record what the things that I taught you as a sleep specialist. Breastfeeding, napping, logging, and then they record it. And instead of journaling or telling you, however is it that they tell you right now, maybe you send them to some app, you then have some way of looking at what they inputted. Instead of doing that, that'll be part of the information that you have about them, and then you can review it. The AI will tell you, hey, I think this way the baby's sleeping too much because he has too much energy. And here's some of the logs that show that. Here's some of the graph that sleep over time and the quality of sleep over time, etc. And then you go and talk to the client one-on-one and tell them about your observations, not only by looking at the raw data that they inputted, but also maybe looking at the way that we see things. And then hopefully if you see like something that we're not doing, you will be like, hey, Jose, you're not doing this. And then this is why it's helpful. And then all of a sudden you log in a week later, it's like, wait a second, he listened.
Yeah, we were gonna do it like fast paced to where we get to, what we want. And, a lot of times we speak with clients and they know like, okay, we have 1 week together, 2 weeks or 4 weeks. But sometimes again, they're so busy and overwhelmed with all the sleep training process and all the gentle methods that they tend to forget. And then we also want to do like a countdown, like, okay, you have 3 days left with your sleep expert, just to remind them. That way we can help you all better wrap things up.
To answer your
So
question,
basically, it's going to be a widget that I use on my website. So they click it. So instead of like the appointment setter that I have now, it'll be SleepNest. And they
Yeah.
click on that, they book their appointment with me through that. And then
Yeah.
from there, we now have all of the information started. Like, do they make the payment through there too?
You could configure everything through the payment, everything through our platform. Or you could choose to continue to do it the way that you do it today. However, then you will be perhaps wasting a little bit of money. Because then you have two platforms that can achieve the same thing. And then, but the way that we think about it, it's like the platform can do so much that you can adopt the things that you want over time. And then what I call it, sunset the other tools that may not be the ones, or decide, look, this tool is so amazing, there's no way I'm sunsetting it, but these other tools, they're not meeting my needs, so let me use the all-in-one platform. Because there's always going to be like that tool that is just like so good. You let me know what that tool that is, and then we'll start getting inspired by it.
Yeah.
the engineering term of you know, we might have similar features very soon.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah.
Thank you so much for inviting us to this webinar. I'm very interested in learning a little bit more about Nicole, what she does, and this application because we are experts and professionals in our space, and we have a growing community of birth workers, perinatal professionals, and we do have strong connections and contacts with hospitals, doctors, WIC centers. Currently, my stillbirth prevention book is in Congress. I have personal contacts with representatives, and I am the New York ambassador. So my connections are strong, and I believe that something like this would be beneficial in our spaces. I just need to know a little bit more of how is this app being utilized, and how would one of our members would connect personally with a sleep expert?
Such an interesting question. The way that we are thinking of doing this is we have a WhatsApp community for parents. Now, similarly to so GentleBirth, the parents basically there's about 10,000 parents a month that use GentleBirth, and then around probably 2,000 of them give birth a month. So they're going through that transition, and then we start educating them about sleep and inviting them to our parent communities, which is incredibly new. And the sleep experts can then utilize those communities and to talk to them and I think of it when a parent asks a question, right, and you give them information, that is an opportunity to find someone that needs your services.
Yeah.
So we offer that, I would call it a public square, where you guys can have that one-on-one connection.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of when you find the opportunities yourself through other means, let's say you're a sleep expert that gets a lot of referrals because your word of mouth is where it's supposed to be. And if you don't know about word of mouth marketing, I own a marketing company and know a little bit about marketing. So we can talk one-on-one about word of mouth marketing and reviews. But I don't want to like derail. But let's say you get that lead through whatever other means, and then as you I guess move that from somebody that was interested to somebody that now is converted into your particular services, you can then invite them to the platform so that they can log their information. So there are two ways. We refer them, and we're working on that program, but then you have to talk to them in the square, and then make a connection and do your thing. Or you can just simply invite them to the application, and then they can log their information. Hopefully, as other individuals, what we notice, so we run a doula network, and what we notice is that some doulas have like 15, 30 people that come to them. And as you guys know, you can only do, 3 to 4 births maybe a month. Otherwise, it gets kind of, I only talked to a doula that did 5 births a month, and she told me it was interesting. So the other 10 people, she has this inner circle of individuals that she trusts, that she gives the referrals to. So what we learn is like sleep specialists, like Nicole, she was telling me, well, I give referral to a friend over here and a friend over there, and I don't charge a dime. And I'm like, yeah, I think that's like the modus operandi of doulas, sleep specialists, and other individuals. You can't take so many clients, so you end up needing a community of trusted individuals to be around you. So our hope is, as we build a community, the leads are going to come from yourselves. And I know that it sounds like, oh, no way, but yes way, because I did it before, and I run doula network, and it works just the way that I said.
Oh, thank you for that feedback. It's very
Mhm.
interesting. I think, like I said, that this is something that'll be beneficial in our space because I hear your numbers, but I also have a birth work community that's organically grown. So
Mhm.
I'm a little familiar with marketing as well. I mean, that's something I took in college. I was just thinking about a couple of clients that we have. They're actually sitting with 6 to 8 births a week. So
Wow.
pretty much overwhelmed. We have consultants and professionals that have a full caseload. If there's anyone here that knows a full caseload, that's 25 clients a week. So I'm thinking
Whoa.
about connecting with Nicole and her being a sleep expert. And what I'm thinking is something like this. When we do our onboarding with our doulas, we automatically pair them with certain people that they might use for their team. For instance, doulas are trained in different levels. There are different levels
Mhm.
of doulas. You have birth doulas, postpartum doulas, full spectrum doulas, death doulas, of that sort. Some of them
Mhm.
have specialties, some of them don't, because doulas are non-medical professionals unless they
Mhm.
have other specialties. Some of them do not have CLC or IBCLC training. So what we do is that we connect, especially new doulas, we connect them with a lactation consultant that's in her
Mm.
state or country. We also suggest to her a marketing person, a virtual assistant, and we would like to also incorporate Nicole in that space and say, hey, if you're a new doula, we will not only connect you with a lactation consultant, but we can also connect you with a sleep expert as well. That's where my mindset is going with this, because this is a beautiful presentation. I just want to know a little bit more about how to connect
Yeah, no,
the sleep
that
expert and then offering the apps.
that makes a lot of sense. And but instead of Nicole, our goal is that we gather our members, and then we get their information, their qualifications, and we utilize our members to be the individuals that get those referrals, while we spread the word that the sleep specialists of the world are right here in our group. So definitely exactly what you said, but Nicole will be like kind of like the ambassador, our ambassador, to tell sleep specialists, come, so that individuals like yourself that are very well connected, Yuvaka, can then say, parents, look, doulas, look, this is where the specialists are gathered, and then we can thrive by providing the leads, the technology, and the reductions in costs that are necessary to run these independent practices. So I do see a lot there that there's so many possibilities, and definitely that's why I think of anytime you say something, Yuka, I get like this emotional like excitement.
Because
I
I
want to
think
jump
that's
out
a
of my
beautiful
I want to jump out of
idea,
my
Jose.
chair,
It's a beautiful idea. I love it. That's a beautiful
Yeah,
idea.
for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, I cannot find Ali. Okay. Just making sure everybody's okay. And I think um any other questions that we love I have the time, but I know that you gals are extremely busy and I respect your time. And I wanted to know if there's any other questions or any just you know, I just wanted to make sure that if you can, Sarah, and if you can, Juliana, provide the link in the chat for the WhatsApp community, so the people that are here at least can, click on it if they would so choose to, before we say our goodbyes. That'll be amazing. And either way, we'll try to email you and contact you and say, hello, it's us. Don't forget us.
I just have one more question. If we wanted to connect with you, either one of you, how would we go about doing that?
That's exactly why Sarah is putting that chat link right there in the WhatsApp community. Literally, just type Jose and then put the bat signal. And I might not show up because I'm not Batman, but if you maybe put Robin, because then Nicole shows up with the bat signal. But the
I don't know how to get the link like off of the app on the phone and onto here. Like, is there a specific?
yeah, Sarah, can you help her? I think the way that we could do it is get your email. We can email it to
Yeah.
you, and then in the phone you just click on it and you'll be good to go. Assuming you have WhatsApp. But Nicole, why don't you know what I didn't do? You see, this is where it shows that I have a lack of experience in webinars, because what I should have done is show this slide.
You can use
It's
your
like
phone to click the
Sarah's
QR
probably like
code.
messaging because I turned off all my messaging, right? Sarah's probably messaging me, Jose.
Yeah.
The QR code.
You can literally just click the QR code and it'll take you straight to the app, the WhatsApp
Yes.
community.
But
Yeah, I can show her how to no, I can share my screen.
no, but you can send her an email, Sarah. You can, with the link, and she can click on it, or she can just use your phone and scan it, Sarah. When I say Sarah, I don't mean Sarah Cabrera. I mean Sarah Morse, I believe is how you pronounce your name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
can
So
use
you
your phone
want
and scan.
me to send an email?
No, you can use your phone in the QR code right here. You
Oh
see it?
yeah, I'm already a part of the WhatsApp. I just got confused because I didn't realize the other Sarah was on. I thought you were asking me to put something in the chat.
Oh no,
Oh,
there's
no.
two Sarahs. Sarah Cabrera, Sarah Z, and then Sarah.
Yeah.
We have many
Love that.
Sarahs.
Yes, we do.
We're
Yeah.
lucky. So yeah, somebody's laughing profusely at me. I don't know. It's probably Juliana. So yeah, and I assume in too much maybe there. But yeah, besides the gaffes and that you
So
see
I
here.
guess I just have like a suggestion, recommendation.
Mhm.
Is there any way that all of us that are on here right now could maybe have another meeting on ways to just collaborate with each other? Because I know
Definitely.
Yeah.
I know a couple other providers are located in New York. I am too. I'm located in the Hudson Valley, but then obviously there's the city, there's more upstate New York. So it would just be nice to just be able to connect.
Yeah.
People, outside of the area as well.
Yeah,
Go,
Sarah.
Nicole.
And our goal is to meet all of you, like for me to come to everyone's city and just collaborate in person, to see who everyone is and all the lovely things you all do as well, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And the answer to you is absolutely yes. If you join the WhatsApp community, just throw in there like, hey, let's meet up. And I know Nicole is like has her bags ready.
I'm ready to come see you all.
So
Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for this. This was really great.
Thank you.
I look forward to, seeing what SleepNest has to offer.
Thank you so much,
Yay.
Sarah.
Sure.
Well, thank you, everybody. And then with that, such a good note to end our wonderful first SleepNest webinar. And then, you're all going to be on my refrigerator. We did it. First webinar.
Thank you so much all for coming to our
Thank
webinar.
you.
Have a great
Bye-bye.
weekend.